We cannot do it without our collective efforts. And that's why I expect all of us, all Mbaise citizens, friends, well-wishers, to call in 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 Central, and 9 Pacific, 5 p.m. Nigerian time on Saturday, so that we can give Mbaise the first lift that it needs. Remember, if we have a good leadership, we are going to have a good followership. When we have a good followership, we definitely will have a unity of purpose. Unity of purpose will uplift a community. When we uplift a community, there is development, structural development, and facilities will be provided so that the same facilities we enjoy in the United States will be available in Mbaise land. So a journey of 1,000 steps, it just starts with one step. And we hope we'll take that giant step on Saturday. And then going forward, we have to have consistency of purpose, not only unity, but consistency of purpose. And I expect all Lumumbis to key in and let us take our homeland to the level we all wish and dream.
Hello there and welcome. A new Mbaise is possible. A new Mbaise built by Ndi Mbaise and our well-wishers. This is the rallying point of the mission and vision of Mbaise USA as they try to harmonize, galvanize, and bring together our richest capital, which is the human capital. This is the biggest resource we have to develop Mbaise. And this is at the back of what we are going to do here today, the conversation we're having on this very platform as we look forward to the wrap-up convention of Mbaise USA 2023. And I'm privileged to have the president of Mbaise USA, High Chief SOS Echendo. And I also like to acknowledge the presence of other members of the executive and, of course, the board of delegates here present. Uh, let's go straight into business, Mr. President. Talking about the wrap-up of the convention 2023 with a global visual town hall conference. How important is this, and what do we expect in it?
Good evening, Ambassador Cliff and the members of the Executive Council and the Board of Delegates led by Dr. Charles Iwejo and all our chapter presidents and our special guests, all sons and daughters of Mbaise. This occasion to wrap up the convention that started in Dallas on the 5th of July is very, very important and critical because a town and a city, country, they don't develop themselves. Individuals make things happen. And in this case, we have a vision, we have a goal, we have a dream, just as the founders of the United States had a dream. And they have realized that dream, that ambition. We have a target, we have an objective. And by wrapping up this convention, we are calling on all sons and daughters of Mbaise, our friends, well-wishers, in-laws, business partners, and associates, to join us to help us conclude that segment we were not able to conclude in Dallas. And that segment is the fundraising. And that fundraising is what was going to make, in essence, or to an extent, break Mbaise. And we believe when all the sons and daughters of Mbaise come together with a unity of purpose, with an objective to uplift our fellow Mbaise men and women and to build the infrastructure that will help us build roads, hospitals, to an extent clinics, and then empower our youth. Because when our youths are empowered, crime goes down. When crime goes down, all of us are safe. Not because we're safe in the United States, then we forget our brothers and sisters who, through no fault of theirs, they are no longer being remembered. So this wrapping up of this convention is going to take us to the next level, and then we will be able to look back and say, when it was our time, we did something. Because when our children look at us, they will say, Dad, Mom, what did you do when you had the opportunity to do something? So this is the time and opportunity has presented itself. And I believe all of us working together, we shall get to our dreamland.
Talking about opportunities and people contributing to the development of our community, I have it on good authority that you intend to recognize those that have made these contributions in the past. Would you want to give us insight into that?
Absolutely. We have categories of those who have sort of set themselves apart from the pack. They have sacrificed for Mbaise, and this is the time for us to use this opportunity on Saturday to say thank you to them. And as they say, the reward for a good work is more work. When we say thank you to them, they will realize that we do appreciate what they're doing. And then those who are in a position to do, when they know that we appreciate their sacrifices, we appreciate all those things, all the obstacles they have to cross to get to where they are. And then others will be motivated, others will be carried along. This is not all inclusive. This is the beginning when we have to say thank you to those who have made Mbaise better, who have projected the name of Mbaise, who have uplifted others, who have sacrificed to make Mbaise a little bit better than how they found it. And it's our goal and intention to say thank you to those people, and then we will thank more in the future when they identify themselves with Mbaise and then identify themselves with projects that will uplift others.
Now, let me move to the vice president of Mbaise USA, who incidentally is the chairman of the fundraising committee. And I know that a lot of planning, a lot of contact has gone into this with his team, and in fact, members of the convention planning. Odoziobodo Ezeji Aloziago, would you want to give us a little insight into what to expect?
Yes. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be interviewed tonight with my colleagues. I think the president said it all, but I may add a few things in terms of expectations. So to be honest with you, the decision to go ahead and present a conclusion to the convention was in part inspired by a lot of our brothers and sisters who came far distances to support us, to be here with us. And they were saying, look, you guys, we know, have extended yourselves financially to keep us or to put us in such a hotel and to spend all the money on feeding and everything else that's involved. It would be good for us to at least be able to path with some of the resources that we brought with us to make sure that you guys cover some of your costs. So we are looking forward to having most of the guests that were here in Dallas show up on the platform, on the Zoom platform. We're also hoping that many others who may not have had the opportunity to join us physically will join us now that we are going virtual. So the idea is to give everybody an opportunity to be supportive, to be part of the treasure hole, the treasure bunch that is extending a lot of services to Nigeria, to Mbaise in particular. Sometimes you look at the type of support you are getting from your people, it tells you that you are doing something good. And over the years, we have continued to mostly double the participation level, both for the convention and even for the medical mission. This year was the largest opportunity for a medical mission, and we performed there flawlessly, 8 locations simultaneously. And
without the support of Mbaise and those who contributed individually and corporate, I'm sure we will not be able to realize such projects. Now, let me move on to the Deputy Chairman of the Board of Delegates, Honorable Cliff Opara. This is indeed a historic moment, and developing Mbaise by Mbaise and our well-wishers is at the heart of this very gathering. What is your take in all this?
Good evening, Ambassador. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to address that issue. First of all, my special thank goes to our national president, High Chief Echendo, as well as the Vice President Aloziago, and our the chairman of the board, Dr. Iwejo, for their vision to develop Mbaise. Well, the importance of community development is not something we can overemphasize, because development creates jobs, development creates strong desire for communities to come together. I know most people think that whenever a development comes to a particular location, people think about land. But land is not the most important thing to think about here. What we think about is, what will this do to us? We have seen that in Mbaise, especially, our youths are being wasted because there's no job. Most of them are not in school, and the only thing they're doing now is to either use illegal substances, especially them urumuri. Why is this development important? Our life will change automatically, especially with the coming of a specialist hospital. People are going to have access to a quality health care. And as we know, the healthy society is a wealthy society.
Yeah.
Our unemployed youth will gain employment, and they will have the opportunity now to feed their families. And this is what is important. And this is the vision our leaders in Mbaise, USA, the reason we need to pat them at the back and tell them thank you for this vision. We are calling on everyone, especially our special guest, the chapter president, all the daughters and sons of Mbaise, whether you are here or you are in Germany or Nigeria, to turn out on Saturday to aid us in achieving this dream, so that our people will not be lacking or suffering. A perfect example is what is happening in Ahira Junction, Afobe. I think we have the largest building material in Mbaise now. We don't have to go to Aba. We don't have to go to Onitsha again. Our money is invested in our home, and this has created a lot of jobs for our youths. And like the president stated, once the youth are engaged in a job, the rate of crime tend to go down, and all of us will be served. And this is what we need to think about when we talk about development. Not what we are sacrificing either by donating or selling our lands. Those are not important. What is important is, in economics, they said the end will justify the means. Is what we are doing now going to be justified 100 years from now? Or are we going to be answering the mighty Mbaise USA? And 100 years from today, people will be judging us and say, wow, they wasted their time in America. Thank you. So I'm appealing to everyone to turn out on Saturday, July the 22nd, to help us to achieve this dream of developing Mbaise.
Okay. Deputy Chairman of the Board, Honorable Cliff Opara, thank you very specially. I'd now like to move to the Chairman of the Convention Planning Committee, and also the Director of Technology, Honorable Bethels Agomo, who has worked day and night, minute after minute, to ensure that we have a platform that Mbaise will be very proud of. Now, this is scheduled for Saturday, the 22nd of July, 5 p.m. Nigerian time, 12 noon Eastern, and 11 a.m. CST. Who and who are expected or permitted to be part of this global visual town hall? And how would they join?
Thank you, Ambassador Cliff. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. Uh, who is expected? Everyone who believes in the dream, everyone who believes that it is time for Mbaise to make that turn. Okay, so the Dallas Convention was supposed to be pivotal, and it is still going to be pivotal. So we are asking everyone who believes in the dream, who believes that Mbaise is ready to become that first class community within a developing country. If you believe that, join us on Saturday. We're expecting you to come in. If you are in Dallas, that means you believe. So join us on Saturday. Everyone should join the call. Everyone should be there and etch your name in history, because this is going to be a turning point for Mbaise USA and Mbaise in general.
Well, when we talk about the whole of Mbaise joining and all that, this is a very exciting thing. Human capital remains the major resource of Mbaise, and galvanizing this, pulling the resources together to achieve the development or the Mbaise of our dream is a task on that Mbaise USA is pursuing at this time. Let me go to the director of children. You've been dealing with youth, and we say that the economy now revolves around the youth, the middle class. What do you have to say to the youth, given what they've achieved and the position they displayed at the convention?
Thank you, Ambassador Cliff. And I just want to go on that same part that the president and everyone have said. We have a dream. Mbaise has a dream. And the dream is that we don't want 50 years from now, 100 years from now, for our kids to start doing DNA, family tree, to find out where they come from. And that is why it is important that we develop Mbaise, that we're able to make our homeland a place that is safe, a place that has basic amenities, so that our kids, instead of they can travel everywhere in the world, the same way they can go on vacation in Mbaise, go back to their homeland, and be able to be safe, feel safe, be able to go and offer their expertise in terms of medical. We have a lot of the youth that are doctors, we have a lot of them that are engineers, we have a lot of them that are teachers, and a lot of them are really prospering in their sports career. So the youth have come out with excitement. The Dallas just concluded Dallas Convention. I tell you, it's a convention that the youth have not, they cannot stop talking about it. They participated in the Intozoke. We had the first Ada and Opera Mbaise. My goodness, the tempo was so high. The children are not left out. And there's this enthusiasm, there's this joy, there's this expectation. The youths now understand that their parents are working to hand over something to them. And that is where that progressive progress comes in. We don't want a situation whereby at the end of the day, after we are done, there's nobody to carry up the legacy. There's nobody
So
to
what's your special
follow.
appeal to the youth? What's your special
Oh,
appeal on
my
how they can
appeal
get
to the
involved?
youth. My appeal to the youth is this: please come on board on Saturday, because you're going to see a lot of actions that your parents are going to do. And these are the things that you will continue to build upon. We want to encourage our parents too, because they've been given. Please keep giving. I call upon them, business sons and daughters all over the world. Please keep giving. Don't relent in your giving, so that we can build a better tomorrow for our youths. We don't want our kids to be sojourners in their homeland.
Okay, let me go to the Director of Women Affairs, Dr. Mrs. Alice Ukebu. The president sometimes said that if you live in America, live in Asia, and you like the environment, try to make sure that you replicate that in our community in Bise. And we know that the women who take care of the family more or less and also pursue careers have a very important role to play in this direction. What is your word out there to the women folk?
Wow. Like you rightly said, the women are the pillar that holds the family together, and that never fails. Our women are a very, very important part of Mbaise USA. They participate fully, physically, and also with their treasures. They also support their husband. They make certain decisions that will help, Mbaise as a whole. So I know that this Saturday, a whole lot of women, if not all of them, will be present. So my plea is to make sure that you galvanize the kids, remind your husbands, and make sure that everybody is online, because it's very important, since we have a lot of projects, like I stated before, and many others have stated. Um, the hospital is one of the important ones, and not that all that ones are not important, but where you have your eyes is where you run to. I am in the medical field, so we do medical missions, but when we have a hospital of our own, we'll have a rest of mind. If we go to Nigeria and happen to be sick, we have a good place for us to go, and take care of ourselves. So my plea.
Dr. Kebu, sorry to interrupt you, because there is a project of interest, that I would like you to touch on, because we know that we're empowering the women, the less fortunate ones, and those that are not quite, up to standard in terms of finances. Would you want to talk about the Women Empowerment Program and how progress has been made in that direction?
Yeah, definitely. We have been doing women empowerment, where we give loans to less privileged people that have petty businesses, at home. And the women here, are very generous. They even went to the extent of making sure that they do contributions on a yearly basis, so that we can add to what we are doing already. And of course, we are being supported by our women. So that's when I say they are the pillar and the organizer in the house. That's what they do. They try to make sure they take care of everybody, the women at home also included.
Okay, yeah, well, you're just telling us something that it's not just hospital. There are a lot of projects, in the basket of Mbaise USA. Let me go to the local organizing committee chairman, Dr. Sir Kelechi. I know that he made a lot of contacts, tried to draw a lot of people to identify with the projects we have on hand during that convention. What are your expectations, going forward to July 22nd?
Thank you, Ambassador, for this opportunity for me to actually express my gratitude to all our guests that came for this convention. And I said thank you all for coming. And on Saturday again, we will conclude this convention. That day on the hall, you all look so beautiful, handsome. Our ladies look so nice. And I'm expecting all of you back again on this Saturday, looking good, and coming out in mass to support us financially. All these projects we mentioned in our Mbaise, um, in our during the convention, we have a lot of projects at hand. It's money that we need to make it happen. So, like I said, I've been saying we will need to duplicate another Ira Junction and a full some other places in Mbaise, so that
Dr. Kelechi, what are you hearing from your friends, those special guests that were invited to this event?
What I'm hearing from them, that they will actually. That's I'm appealing to them again to come out in May. They will support us in mass, and invitation sent out to them for them to be out there on Saturday. They will actually come to support us. That's basically what's going on now.
Chairman of the, before I go to the president for a wrap up, Chairman of the convention planning, what are your expectations? Come Saturday is just here, with the targets you set for yourself.
Well, if you were in Dallas, that tells it all, because we saw the mammoth crowd, because the people believe. So we expect that some crowd on Saturday, because everyone believes at this moment. Somebody said people are keyed into the dreams. And because we're keyed in, we are ready. And we believe that NDMBC are going to come out in mass to support whatever projects we present to them.
Okay. Alozie Agowa is the vice president, and I know that Mbaise Leadership Forum and the Mbaise Global Foundation have already set a platform, for us to key into. What can you tell us about their role?
Well, thank you. That's a good question. As you know, Mbaise Leadership Forum is an independent subsidiary of Mbaise USA. So they operate independently, but they are still an extension of Mbaise USA. And basically, a lot of the people that you will see on Saturday will also be members of Mbaise Leadership Forum. Many of them were here, including the chairman, Dr. Frank Ihekwapa. And I know he's going to be there on Saturday as well. one of the two chairmen we have. So Honorable Ohanele, Chris Ohanele, he will be there, and quite a few of them who obviously come because they like what is happening and the partnership that we have with them, will continue to prosper. And we also are expecting that quite a few members of the Mbaise Global Foundation, whether it's Mbaise Europe or Israel Mbaise members, a lot of them will be here. Some of the communities or members that emanate from Nigeria, the women's associations, so many of them, they're going to participate. And part of where Mbaise USA draws some of its strength is in identifying many low-hanging fruits, and partnering with your people brings a lot of opportunities, and we intend to make sure that they are.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point, SJG Aloziagoa. I'll come to the president because a lot, your leadership has inspired a lot of followership. That was manifest at the last convention in Dallas. What is your word to the people of Mbaise and our well-wishers?
What I can say is we have the compass, we have the Northern Star for guidance, and we have the leadership to get us to the objective. So I thank all those special guests, our chairman, Dr. Frank Ihekwaba, co-chair Engineer Siwaya Unko. I thank Honorable Frank NIG. I also thank the honorable member who is running for deputy governorship of Imo State, Honorable Nwolo. Thank General Lincoln Ogunewa, retired, and Ediobina representing Chief Ediobina representing Abombise, and all those who were there that night. Those I know, those I don't know, but they came for a common purpose because they want to uplift Mbaise. They want a safer Mbaise. They want a more developed Mbaise. And Mbaise whereby you can go from a Chandler's family in Obizi to Agowa's family in Guru for less than 15 minutes because we have good roads. And you'll not be bothered. You not have to spend money for security because Mbaise will be safe. We cannot do it without our collective efforts. And that's why I expect all of us, all Mbaise citizens, friends, well-wishers, to call in 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 Central, and 9 Pacific, 5 p.m. Nigerian time on Saturday, so that we can give Mbaise the first lift that it needs. Remember, if we have a good leadership, we are going to have a good followership. When we have a good followership, we definitely will have a unity of purpose. Unity of purpose will uplift a community. When we uplift a community, there is development, structural development, and facilities will be provided so that the same facilities we enjoy in the United States will be available in Mbaise land. So a journey of 1,000 steps, it just starts with one step. And we hope we'll take that giant step on Saturday, and then going forward, we have to have consistency of purpose, not only unity, but consistency of purpose. And I expect
on that
all
note, I'd like to say special thank you.
And let us take our homeland to the level we all wish and dream.
Thank you, Mr. President. I can't thank you enough. You've just summarized everything. The important thing is there is a record for you to key in if you're an Mbaise person. So this is the right time to answer your name on the positive, not on the negative, towards the Mbaise of our dream. Join us on Saturday, the 22nd, like the president already advertised. And I'd like to thank the president, the vice, and in fact, the chairman of the planning committee, LOC, the director of women affairs, the deputy chairman of board of delegates, and of course, the director of women affairs. And of course, my colleague at the background is Zioma Anosike. This is Ambassador Cliff Ayoze wishing you the very best. Let's see you at appointed time.